Welcome to Tech Diva Biz Talks, where we tune in, dive deep, and level up. I'm your host, Audrey Wiggins, aka the Tech Diva, brand strategist, marketing mind, and your guide through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. Let's talk tech. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode. And our guest today, Randy Gage. He is known as the Entrepreneur Whisperer, a speaker, Hall of Famer, best-selling author of 15 books, and one of the most respected voices on prosperity and success today. From a jail cell as a teenager to becoming a global thought leader, Randy now helps people and companies rewrite the beliefs that hold them back from wealth and fulfillment. Randy, welcome to Tech Diva Biz Talks.
Hey, thanks, Audrey. Thanks for bringing me in. Great to be on with you.
Absolutely. Randy, before we get going here, can you share with us a fun fact, a personal fun fact?
Personal fun fact.
Yeah.
No one would know is I used to be the Bowser character in a Sha Na Na cover band. And so if you're not a elderly baby boomer like I am, you will have to Google or use AI for the group Sha Na Na.
That's awesome. I wasn't ready for that. And I won't tell anybody, but I'm in that elderly group. Oh my gosh. So folks, we'll be right back with more from Randy Gage. Ready to make AI practical, useful, and a lot less intimidating? With Pathways in AI, training includes programs such as Gen AI Biz, AI Biz, Agentic AI Biz, designed for professionals, entrepreneurs, for everyday business, communication, productivity, decision-making, and teams who want to understand AI without losing the human touch. The curriculum we use is by CertNexus. Explore your next step at pathwaysinai.com. Pathways in AI. Grow stronger, learn smarter, and stay human. Enroll today for Gen AI this week. Randy, thanks again for being here. I'm going to get into some questions so we can learn more about you and how you can support us and we can grow our businesses and grow ourselves, right? So if our businesses, we grow, our business grows in a way, right?
Totally. It is. I actually have an entrepreneur accelerator program.
Okay.
And I can promise you that 80% of the work I do in that program is working with entrepreneurs on their foundational beliefs, their self-esteem, their vision for their future, the internal stuff, the self-development stuff, much more than the how do we scale this? What's the greatest marketing campaign? How do we harness AI in the business? Your business will grow only as fast as you do.
So in a world full of disruption, noise, and nonstop change, what does true prosperity really look like today?
Great question. I love that, Audrey. Let me give a free resource exactly dedicated to that. Right, my website, randygage.com, right on the homepage, there's a PDF free, the 7 elements of an abundant life. Mm-hmm. And that really is my whole philosophy. But I think I actually believe I've got a framework for it. I think there's 4 quadrants. A lot of people think it's just money and material things, but that's one item of one of the quadrants. Health and wellness is another quadrant. Third one, I would say I might title it spiritual harmony. Mm-hmm. Could be religious, could be spiritual, could be secular, different things for different people, but meaning you're comfortable in your own skin, you're happy, you're in harmony with your environment. And then the 4th quadrant is what I call significance, meaning at some point you will reach the level where you say, I want to move from success to significance. I want to know that the fact that I was here on this planet for a finite amount of time made a difference in a positive way after I'm gone.
Yes, absolutely. So if you've said people are often programmed to fail, what does that programming look like in real life and how do we break it?
What does that programming look like in real life? Here's the programming, the most insidious, prevalent mind viruses on earth today. Money is bad, rich people are evil. To be a successful career person, you have to be a terrible parent. To be a successful entrepreneur, you've got to victimize your employees and plunder the environment and exploit the shareholders. That we're supposed to add 5 pounds of weight every decade of our life, or 10 pounds of weight every decade. By the time we're 50, we should be on 6 prescriptions. By the time we're 60, we should be on 10. By the time we're 70, we're on 15 of them. I mean, I could go on, but that's the kind of programming that we're getting from what I call the data sphere: TV, movies, social media, podcasts, the internet, right? You've got this positive podcast. I have a positive podcast. For you and me, there are 250 other ones that are negative podcasts, right?
Yes.
Who just that they bring people down for clicks, they bring people down for eyeballs, and they corrupt us. They cause us to self-sabotage. The government does it. The government needs you to be needy. Organized religion does it. The core message is one of love, I think, but I think also we have fundamentalist elements in all the major religions of the world, and they have hijack the message, and a lot of times they're proselytizing very limiting beliefs. So we're getting assaulted with this programming 24/7.
Yes, absolutely. And you mentioned you have your podcast. What's your podcast name so we can look that up later?
It's listed as the Power Prosperity Podcast.
Okay.
So it's really skewed to that, but really in recent years, I've just skewed more and more toward entrepreneurs because I have this personal belief that it's easier and faster to become wealthy as an entrepreneur than it is as an employee.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It doesn't mean there's not, and that's not right for everybody, right? Some people are not meant to be entrepreneurs. And what's his name? I think Iger just, retired from Disney the other day. He probably made 80 million a year. So that's a pretty good job of being an employee, right?
Right.
But I just think on the whole, it's easier and a shorter route to creating wealth as an entrepreneur than it is as an employee.
Right, exactly. So what's one money lie people keep believing that quietly keeps them stuck, even high achievers and entrepreneurs?
I think an incredibly large majority of people on earth are programmed with a subconscious belief that they don't even know is there, that being poor is noble or spiritual or brings them closer to God or makes them a better person.
Your early life included jail as a teenager. How did that experience reshape the way you think about success, ownership, and personal responsibility?
A multitude of ways. We could say that to start. I was 15 years old, waiting trial for armed robbery and burglary. I'd been a teenage alcoholic and drug addict. And I remember sitting in the cell. Was a metal door with one of those little windows with safety glass in it. And in the hallway outside was a clock on the wall with a second hand. And I can't even tell you how many hours a day I sat on that cot and just watched that second hand tick on the clock. And if you ever are going to be introspective about your life as a young age, being in jail will do that for you. So that was a seminal moment for me to make that, to understand that, the world is not fair. There are people who have, even though your family does not, but the way out of there isn't through shortcuts and theft. The way out of there is creating value, growing yourself, transforming yourself. And I certainly didn't snap my fingers at 15 and be multimillionaire, successful, whatever.
Oh yeah, there's always the journey, right? And
Right.
even that prison sentence, or was still part of that journey.
Yeah. So that was a seminal moment for me that allowed me to rethink my life. And then I have had many seminal moments along the way that also allow me to rethink what I want to do, have, and become.
Yeah, that's powerful. So we're going to hear more from you on the other side of this break. Sponsored by Altogether Domains, bringing your business online. Whether you are launching a new venture or leveling up your brand, altogetherdomains.com helps you secure your digital real estate the smart way. Visit altogetherdomains.com. Did you know 99% of people check their email every day, up to 20 times a day? It's the first thing people do online, even before looking at social media or other news. But viewers retain only 10% of what they read. Adding video to your email, their retention skyrockets to 95%. Video plus email equals success. It's time. The future of email is here. Goodbye, email. Hello, video email. Ready to ride the wave? Visit altogether.popfusion.com. Randy, what is one belief someone must change first if they want to welcome more abundance into their life?
I'll give you one that maybe, I don't know, it's so much about they have to change as they have to adopt. And that belief would be that principle. This would be a first principle of prosperity, in my take. You work for money, or money works for you. Period. End of discussion.
Wow.
Ask yourself that question. Do I work for money, or does my money work for me? In my case, I still work. I work for money. I get paid lots of money to speak and write books and everything. But if I did none of that, I would live wonderful because my money works for me. You know, you mentioned I have 15 books. Well, number 16 just went available on Amazon. Wealth Without Apology. So it's live on Amazon right now. So please put a link in the show notes.
Oh, definitely.
I know this book will transform their lives. But that's one of the first principles that I write about there, that you recognize that, okay, either I work for money or my money works for me. That is the difference. The superpower for creating wealth is leverage. Oprah Winfrey has leverage. Jeff Bezos has leverage. Mark Cuban, Richard Branson, they have leverage. Shakira, Lady Gaga, J.K. Rowling, they have leverage. Go back and read Think and Grow Rich, right? Back in the day, Ford and Firestone and Carnegie and they all had leverage. That's what we do when we get our money working for us, is now, like I will hopefully be working for another 40 years or 60 years, because, I'm hoping to live to 150 or 175.
Yes.
And wonderful. And I don't want to retire. I love my work. My work is a really important part of who I am. But I don't ever want to work because I need the money. I want to work because I believe in my work.
Yes, that's powerful right there. Absolutely. So you've made the bold statement that poverty is a sin. Unpack that for us, and what do you mean by that, and why do you say it so strongly?
Well, Reverend Charles Fillmore, who co-founded the Unity Church, shocked the religious community of his day when he made that statement. And I always shock my seminar audiences these days when I reaffirm that statement. And here's why I believe that so much with such fervor that I do. like a lot of biblical principles people talk about. A lot of people study the Bible. It's one of the, I think it's on the New York Times best-selling list every, for a few weeks, right? And everybody thinks the Bible's written in their language. Whatever if it's Italian, German, they just, whatever they read it, they think that's where the Bible was written. No, the Bible, the important parts of the Bible were written in Aramaic. And if we look at how sin is best translated into from Aramaic to English, it means lack of, it means we're not accepting the love. We're not receiving the love. The Course in Miracles calls it a lack in love. The Bible, Aramaic, we're looking at it and we're saying we're missing the mark. That would be really the Aramaic best translation would be missing the mark. And I feel when we don't manifest a prosperous life, we're missing the mark that the force that created us wanted for us.
So, and missing the mark as an entrepreneur, how can you translate that for us from a business perspective?
If you're struggling with your business, it's a sin. If you're struggling and you're a sorry sinner and we got to get you penance, we got to get you redemption.
Yes.
And you paid your penance. Now it's time for redemption. If you're struggling with your business, it's an insult to the force that created you. You need to step into your greatness. You need to move into the highest possible version of yourself. Because as entrepreneurs, we're going to be the people who save the world. Governments are not going to save the world. Governments are inherently corrupt. Governments need you to be needy. Governments get into all politics and land grabs and corruption, and even the most idealist governments ultimately disintegrate into corruption and bureaucracy and atrophy, right? It's always our job as citizens is to continually challenge our government to be better. The people who save the planet are going to be entrepreneurs. Great, you got a picket sign, save the rainforest. Okay, great. First of all, somebody had to chop down a tree for you to get that picket sign. So that's the first problem with that. All right. But the second way we save the planet is wealthy people like me who donate to causes where we go and buy the rainforest and put them into a deeded trust. Because the reason we're burning the rainforest is because the indigenous peoples on there are selling them because they need the money, right? So we need entrepreneurs to show how do we desalinate all of the water? How can we say if 3/4 of the planet is water, how can we have people dying of thirst because they can't get clean drinking water? We need entrepreneurs to fix that. We need entrepreneurs to take us to the moon and build settlements there and explore other planets. We need entrepreneurs to create cures for diseases and better human conditions. And so what we do as entrepreneurs really matters. It's again, I know people are going to ratio me for this, but I feel like if we're not doing our highest good as entrepreneurs, we are insulting the force that created us. Mm-hmm. And we don't help the world by playing small.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. We each have our assignment, part of this mind shift and all that to bring us up so that we can perform the work that we were given. And so we all have a purpose, and we definitely have to get there. So I want to shift a little bit over to this AI, one of my favorite topics as a marketer. With AI transforming business and the rules changing fast, how can entrepreneurs stay relevant, resilient, and prosperous?
We can't sit this one out. We can't wait this one out. We have to be immersed in AI every week. We have to be studying, delving, practicing in it. It's funny. I launching a media company with a partner, and we were chatting on Zoom a couple of weeks ago, and he said, I worry that I'm spending too much time studying all this AI stuff. I told him, Jaime, at this point of our lives, at this point in the history of mankind, humankind, you can't study too much time on AI right now. It's moving so fast, and it is the seminal movement of our time.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, 40s, 60s, or 80s. AI is going to be the most cataclysmic disruption of your lifetime, and we have to harness it. We have to unleash it. We have to learn how to use it safely. We have to learn how to develop it without it destroying us or enslaving us, right? The moral, ethical implications, ramifications of this we'll be debating for decades. But I'm telling you right now, as entrepreneurs, you have to be on it. We have to. I have 3 different AI employees at this point. I'm a
Okay.
solopreneur. I work from home, but I'm building an empire. I have a very huge, very successful business. And I was talking with my team the other day, and I said, I think this year I need to bring in 3 to 5 new employees and 20 to 25 new AI employees to scale at the target that I've set for 2026. Because the AI employees are, it's just mind boggling. It's
It
just,
is. We have to have another segment for that. Just that conversation alone. Oh my gosh.
people, if you haven't played with it, everyone on to watch it. Get Claude, get Chat GPT, Perplexity, just get on any of them and just experiment. Read about it, listen to podcasts, but just experiment because they will even guide you through the process.
Yeah.
If you say, "Hey, Chat GPT, I'm a podcaster. Can you tell me some ways I can use what you do to help me grow my podcast, be a better podcaster, attract more viewers, whatever?" It'll literally tell you.
That's right. Yeah.
So I've created an agent for my podcast. When I say I've created, meaning
Hmm.
I paid someone $15,000 and said, build this agent because I don't know how to program and I can't afford to program, right?
Right.
I'm an entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur. Every entrepreneur listening to this, you can't afford to be in the details. You
That's
have to
right.
be doing rainmaker activities. So I told my guy, his name is Ford, here's what I needed to do. So when I book a podcast, I say, I'm doing a podcast with Nancy Smythe. Please set it up. 4.5 seconds later, I get a profile of her. I get a bio for her. I get 15 suggested questions for her. I get a YouTube channel description for that show. I get the meta tags for the show. I get 15 social media promos for the show and a couple of other things. Now, personally, that would have been an hour of work for me and 5 or 6 hours worth of work for somebody on my team.
Absolutely. Because, like I said, since I've been doing this for so long, I've done all of that.
Yeah, and I used to do all of that.
Yes. Oh my
And
goodness.
that's 6 or 7 hours of work
Yeah.
that an AI agent does in 4.5 seconds. The
Yep.
AI agent doesn't have breaks, doesn't call in sick, doesn't need a 401k plan, doesn't need matching whatever income taxes. They don't get the flu. They don't get in a fight with their spouse. And, it's just,
And there's
we're
no
in
office politics.
no office politics, right? We're
Oh
in
my
such a
gosh.
bold new world now.
Yeah.
And you can't sit it out, guys. You can't sit it
Mm-mm,
out.
mm-mm. Let's quick here. One more question before we take another break. All right, let's talk about failure. It knocks on every entrepreneur's door. How can people recover from setbacks and use them as a setup for transformation?
The key word here is pivot. You failed. Okay, get over it. Now ask yourself, what is the lesson I need to learn from this? And how do I pivot from this? I do seminars, public seminars. I do programs for $25,000 a person sometimes. I'll put them out there, and estimate, I started being a professional speaker in 1991. I bet I put out 25 seminars that failed. I did a promo, created a name, price thing, location, whatever. This one's a destination event. This one is a whatever event. And the market said, looks pretty boring. I don't think I'm interested. And I pivoted. And I'd send back the deposits of the people who, hey, you know what? It's a program I wanted to bring out. I don't think the marketplace is ready for it yet, so I'm not going to do it. Here's your money back. And sometimes 5 years later, I do them, and they're a big hit because I just feel like I was a little ahead of my time on that one. Yeah. Now the timing is right. The Twitter, which is now X, which is worth $46 billion or whatever Elon paid for it, that didn't start as Twitter. It was a blogging platform, and it pivoted. And if you go look at all the unicorn businesses, the billion-dollar plus businesses, I would bet 60 or 70% of them are not the business that was launched originally. They are the business that was pivoted into. So, if you need to go and have a pity party for 2 hours and slam back a couple of gin and tonics, okay, do it. If you need to call your best BFF and cry on the phone for 2 hours, do it. Do whatever you got to do to get over it. And then pick yourself up and say, okay, what's the lesson I need to take from this? And where do I pivot to next?
Yes, absolutely. That was great. Okay, so after this announcement, we're going to come back and have what I call the Tech Diva Rapid 5 section. All right, so get ready. Got a podcast idea in your head or your notes app or in your spirit? Let's change that. I'm Audrey Wiggins, also known as the Tech Diva, and I've been podcasting for over 15 years, and I want to help you get on that train. So my Unlock the Power of Podcasting Toolkit mini course is designed for aspiring podcasters, entrepreneurs, and content creators who are ready to stop thinking about it and start building with clarity. No fluff, no unnecessary overwhelm, just a practical self-paced starting point to help you move forward with confidence. If your voice has a purpose, your podcast needs a plan. Start today with Unlock the Power of Podcasting Toolkit mini course. Visit alltogetherlearning.academy, alltogetherlearning.academy. I want to hear your voice in the marketplace. Randy, before we get to the Tech Diva Rapid 5, where do you want to send listeners, watchers of this episode?
The primary place I want to send you right this minute is to Amazon.com. Order Wealth Without Apology. My mission is I want to make the world more prosperous. And I believe the way we do that is through entrepreneurship, but then through entrepreneurs by empowering and raising the consciousness of people. The number one most preventable cause of death today in the world is poverty. It can be prevented, but we don't do it with charity and entitlement. Those are Band-Aids. We do it by empowering people and raising consciousness. Absolutely. This book, Wealth Without Apology, it's the work of my life. I want every high school and college grad to get it. I want every young couple to get it who's having money problems, and every entrepreneur and aspiring entrepreneur in the world. So please get 2 copies, one for yourself and one for that college grad, high school grad, your nephew who's an entrepreneur. Donate it to your local library. But let's get this message out to the people who need to hear it. And then just randygage.com. That's my website, podcast, blog. Entrepreneur Accelerator program is called Breakthrough You. All those things are on the website.
All right, Randy. It's time for the Tech Diva Rapid 5. 5 quick questions, 5 quick takes, and no overthinking. Let's go.
All right.
All right. What's the biggest lie people believe about money?
It's the one where they think not having it makes them a better person because they want to believe that.
What's one belief people need to delete today?
That you've got to be a bad spouse or a terrible parent to become wealthy and successful.
What's one belief they need to install instead?
Money amplifies the good that you can do. Success amplifies. Signal amplifies the good that you can do.
AI and entrepreneurs, panic or pivot?
Adopt. Adopt.
Okay. Success without peace, is it really success?
No, you've got to have that third quadrant I talk about of that. Like this coaching program, I have a high level, 10K a month. The people I get at that level, these are players, okay? These are very wealthy, successful people. And you know what I'm doing with some of them? I have to teach them how to take a vacation. Some of them I have to teach how to take a day off. They come to me, they're flying private, they've got 4 homes, they've got all the bling bling and 11 cars in the garage, and their kids don't want to talk to them, right? So you can get the success. If you don't have the whole package, it's worth nothing.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Randy, if there's one thing you want people to remember after this conversation is this, right? Prosperity isn't about money. It's about how you think, what you believe, and who you become in the process. So what's the first shift someone should make today if they're ready to stop surviving and start living in true prosperity?
For most people, I think it's adopting the belief, I am worthy. Because the reason they're not operating at the level they should is because they're self-sabotaging themselves because of limiting subconscious beliefs that they don't even know are there.
Well, this has been a bold, thought-provoking, and right on time conversation. And Randy just didn't talk about prosperity as income. He talked about prosperity as a mindset, a standard, and a decision. If this episode stretched your thinking, challenged your excuses, or gave you a new lens on abundance, be sure to connect with Randy Gage and dive deeper into his work. And you can catch this episode, show notes, and more powerful conversations at techdivabiztalks.com, where smart business, personal growth, and real talk come together. That's it for today's Tech Diva Biz Talks. Hope you caught a gem or two. If you did, share it, review it, and most of all, put it into action. Until next time, tune in, level up, and talk tech.